Hello everyone, this is Taryn with Wonderfully Made Handcrafting. Today I am working through Unchanging Majesty, which is May's kit from By the Well for God. If you are unaware, By the Well for God is moving to Texas. So right now their shop is on hold until they complete their move. They're hoping to be moved by the early fall. And so right now, all you can get on their website is digital stuff. So just know that. But I am still working through this Unchanging Majesty kit. I have this majestic sunrise stencil. As you can see here, I am working in my Disciples Journal, also from By the Well for God. I have a couple of ideas for this page, but basically I am just working in Hebrews 13:8, which says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. And so I'm adding this little seal that came in the Unchanging Seals stamp set. And then I also have the Sunburst stamp set out, and I thought it'd be fun to make like 3 circles, because for the Trinity, but also for yesterday, today, and forever. That had some fun symbolism in there. And so I'm taking some mint tape. I just made a mask basically for one of these little sunbursts, and I will ink it up and stamp it. Now the third one was a little bit trickier to find which one I wanted to use, because some of them just didn't show as much with the area of the circle. And so I had to find one that kind of popped out a little bit more, but yet was still small. So found this one right here. I'm just going to move that mask down of the mint tape and also stamp it in some VersaFine ink. I will come in eventually and color these in, but that is it for my stamping of these little circles, seals, and sunbursts. Then I'm going to come with one of these labels and use the clear alpha tiles to spell out Hebrews, or actually the abbreviation of Hebrews. I thought it'd be really sweet to use that sunrise or sunset, I'm not sure which one we're going to call it, alpha, because it has some of those yellows and corals in it. So I'm going to use that to spell Hebrews. And then since this alpha set doesn't have numbers, I will change to the tile alphas to add in 13:8 there. Now, since I have a lot going on in the background of this page, I do want to outline everything. I like outlining my alphas in the first place when I use these stickers. They do have a stamp. It's just easier for me usually to use my pen because it's right on my desk and is probably faster than going and getting the stamp set. But just know that they do have an outline stamp set as well. So I've outlined all my letters, and then I'm going to stick this down. It does get a little bit lost because I have that sun stencil in the background that I do love, but I want to make sure this label is outlined so it pops really. And then I'm going to also color these in. Like I said before, I'm going to try to stick with the colors that I see in those letters. And so I have light purples, a little bit of coral in there. It ends up being a little bit too bright, but no worries. We have this bright kind of orange here. It kind of tones it down when I put a neutral right next to it. So you'll see how that's toned down a little bit there. But yeah, so that is what I'm working with, just some mild liner highlighters that I have sitting on my desk that I use for my planner. So it's always great to have that just sitting there ready to go. So now that that is all colored, I will write out this verse on one of these little purple labels right here. I am using a Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen. That is kind of my go-to. I have this specific hand lettering style that I use in my planner. This kind of like bubble letters, but also heavier on the downstroke. So yeah, it's kind of like faux calligraphy, but in bubble letters, I guess. And so I've been using that a lot. And that's kind of my go-to when I want to make something look a little bit more bold. So I've written that verse right there and layered it on top of that little cluster. And then we're going to go to the Greek word for the same. So I believe this Greek word is pronounced autos. It means the same. So when we see it in the verse, it's actually meaning the same word that it's using. And I also have my little stamp set that I created with By the Well for God for my retreat. And so I have all these little typewritten words and numbers. So I've used that Strong's, and then the G846 is the number to this word. So that's where I have that stamp set, in case you're wondering. I also have these arrows in it, and so I've used that to come over and spell out the same with these big tile alphas. And I also wanted to remind myself that that is the word immutable, which is what Jesus Christ is. He is the same yesterday and today and forever. When I was looking at some commentaries of this verse, I always really like going to David Guzik's commentary. I like it because he uses different theologians and also his own thoughts and brings it all together. So there's a lot of different ideas there that you can bring from. But one of his quotes says, "The unchanging nature of Jesus Christ could be inferred from his deity, even if it were not explicitly stated. God doesn't change over the ages, so neither does Jesus, who is God." Again, I'm using this retreat stamp set, so I have this hand-drawn rectangle and then takeaway right there. And then I wanted to fill in just a little bit more and give the definition of immutable. And so I just went online to the Merriam-Webster dictionary. The definition there states, "is not capable of or susceptible to change." So I'll add that in underneath this little tile alpha title that I've created. I am going to outline those just like I've done in all my other little tile alphas on this page. And then I will come in again with that Tombow Funinosuke brush pen and just do that faux calligraphy bubble letter kind of handwriting and write that definition in. After that, guys, this page will be complete. This is all the notes I have for Hebrews 13:8, a Bible verse that was talked about a lot in Unchanging Majesty. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me over on Instagram at Wonderfully Made Handcrafting and also on Facebook. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Bye.